Okay, guys, I've got to adjust this a little bit once I get it playing. So give me just a second while I make some adjustments. Sorry. I'm using my iPad. I think I get a better picture with the iPad than I do with my other little contraption that I use with my phone. Okay, so we're going to go over this test or this quiz. This is not a test, it is a quiz. And I am going to be using my colored pens that erase. That is not your free reign to use colored pens to do your math. You can use colored pens to check your math all you want to, but we are not using colored pens to do the math, okay? So, and I'm going to have to tilt this a little bit to write on it, and then I will try to make sure I keep it in the frame. All right, so number 1, which statement correctly compares the unit rate between the table and the ordered pairs below? Before we can compare these, if you notice in the question, it did not tell you that they were proportional. So we're going to just put a note right here that we do not assume that they are proportional. We cannot and do not assume that they are proportional. Okay? So, and since we're not going to assume that they're proportional, we've got to determine their proportionality. We've got to determine if they are proportional. The way we do that is by using K equals Y over X. K is your constant of proportionality. It's what's going to tell you if these are proportional, okay? Or if this is proportional. So we're going to come right here. We're going to write Y over X, 4 over 3. And then we're going to just do the division right here. 4 divided by 3 is 1 1/3. It's 1.3 repeating. Okay. 7 over 5 is 1.4. I can stop right there. I can stop right there because K right here has to be the same all the way down to have a proportional relationship. And so we have determined that this is not proportional. That's not proportional at all. Okay? I'm not even reading these answer choices yet. I'm going to now look. I'm going to change my color, and then I'm going to look right here at this one, at these ordered pairs. These also have to be written Y over X. This is our X. This is our Y. So I'm going to do 4 over 2, which is 2. That's a little close. Let me fix that. And then 4 over 6. I'm sorry, 6 over 4. Y over X. 6. That's 1.5. I can stop right there. Because these are different, I can now say they are not proportional. Well, we can't compare unit rate if they're not proportional. And I want to put a note there. I just want you to write this down so that you remember it. In that the unit rate... No. Is this one out? There is no unit rate to compare. Because unit rate is K. Unit rate is K. and because K's not the same, there's no unit rate to compare, okay? So because there's no unit rate to compare, let's look. The table has a greater value. Nope. The set of ordered pairs has a greater unit rate. There is no unit rate. They both have the, nope. There is not a proportional relationship. There is not a proportional relationship between the table and the ordered pairs. That is the only thing it can be because there is no unit rate to compare. There's nothing else we can do, okay? Number 2, Ethan writes 1/6 of a page in 1/12 of a minute. How much time does it take him to write a full page? Right here, a full page is key to this. Because what is it asking us for? It's asking us for 1 full page. So that's our unit that we're looking for. 1 page. 1 page. 1 full page. That means pages have to be on the bottom over here, which is going to be minutes up here and minutes right there. Okay? So 1 full page means that my 1/6 would go here, my 1/12 goes here. And we don't know how long it takes him to write 1 full page. This is the one where you will mess this up because you have to determine what's going right here first. You have to determine that you're writing that 1 full page first. Now, we start at the variable, we cross multiply. X times 1/6 is 1/6 x. 1/12 times 1 is 1/12. Divide both sides by 1/6. And I'm just going to throw this in right here because we looked at something in ELT this afternoon that was asking about a complex fraction. This is an example of a complex fraction. It's a fraction with a fractional numerator and a fractional denominator. So this would be an example of a complex fraction. But we know that fractions just mean division, so we're dividing both sides by 1/6. So I'm going to do 1/12 divided by 1/6, and I get 1/2. So he can read 1/2 of a page in 1 minute. All right. The graph below shows the distance a train traveled in 5 hours. Write and equate which equation shows the relationship between the number of hours X and the number of miles Y. Well, when you're doing this, you've got to have a perfect point. You've got to have a perfect point, a perfect target. Just like when you play in all your games and you have to get that crosshair. You got to have it in the crosshair. And if you look at all of these, if you look at this line, the only one that looks like it's going exactly through a crosshair is this one right here. There's nothing else that's hidden on an exact crosshair except this point right here. So we're going to use that point, okay? We're going to write it as an ordered pair first, which is 5. So I'm coming over to 5 and up to 300. I'm writing that as an ordered pair first, over to 5 and up to 300. Now I'm going to take that ordered pair and I'm going to write it as y over x, which is 300 divided by 5, or 300 over 5, and that gives me 60. So k equals 60. Now I take k equals 60, y equals kx, and I take this 60, and I'm going to substitute it right there for k, so y equals 60x. And there's your equation. This is a ratio. We're setting up this ratio in order to be able to write that equation. Take a minute, look at those. Make sure you know what you're doing there. I'm trying to make sure I don't lose focus. All right, Cindy runs 2/3 of a mile. in 1/6 of an hour. What is the unit rate? So with unit rate, we know we're going to have a 1 right here in her miles per hour. So I want to know how far she's going to run in 1 hour. So if that's hours right there, hours has to be right there. So this is going to be miles. This is going to be miles. She can run 2/3 of a mile in 1/6 of an hour. How far can she run in 1 hour? Now I cross multiply. 1/6 x equals 2/3 times 1 is 2/3. Divide by 1/6. Divide by 1/6. And x is going to equal 4. So she runs 4 miles per hour. Okay. Marcy solved 80 math problems in 2.5 minutes. Which of the following best represents her unit rate per minute? So we want to know 1 minute. Per minute. Per 1 minute. So that means minutes goes on the bottom here. These are going to be our problems and our problems. So 80 math problems in 2.5 minutes. How many in 1 minute? Cross multiply. X times 2.5 is 2 1/2 x equals 80. Divide both sides by 2 1/2. And we can come right here and put it in the calculator. 2. Now, you do this a couple of ways. You can say that 2.5 is 2.5. And say 80 divided by 2.5 is 32. Or we can put it in like we would. We could say 80 divided by. Now we've got to make this on the bottom. Let's do 80 divided by 2. We got to make that a mixed number. So we have to do the second button and then put in our 1/2. And we still get 32. I would probably put it in as 2.5 because it's just easier to do that on the calculator. So 32 problems per minute. Which of the following graphs represents a proportional relationship? Let's go back and talk about graphs representing a proportional relationship. What do we have to have? We have to have a straight line and it has to pass through the origin, which is 0, 0. It's got to be a straight line and it's got to pass through the origin. This one does not pass through the origin. That's not a straight line. This one does not pass through the origin. D is the only one that would work there. Shelby types 126 words in 3 minutes. Which equation shows the relationship between the words and the time in minutes that she types? This is one of the ones I've told you. Write your per statement first. Your per statement is, when you write a per statement, it's always going to be y per x. So that I can make sure I'm getting the right y and the right x, I can look at this and know that it's going to be words per minute. Words per minute. Words are going to be the y. Minutes are going to be my x. 126 words per 3 minutes. Now, I want to find k. K equals y over x. Y is 126. X is 3. So we have 42. K equals 42. Now I've got to take that 42 and come back and put it in my y equals kx equation. So that 42 has got to come back and substitute in right there. So y equals 42x. Now, of course, words was w, so this would be w. 42, the minutes were m, so 42m. Darius measured the side lengths and the perimeter of 5 squares as shown in the table below. Which of the following best explains why these values are or are not a proportional relationship? Now remember, to determine proportionality, we use y over x. So we're going to use k equals y over x to determine a proportional relationship. Okay? These are your x values. These are your y values. So this is x, this is y. This is x, this is y. All the way down. So this is going to be 8 over 2, which is 4. 12 over 3, which is 4. 20 over 5, which is 4. 24 over 6, which is 4. And 36 over 9, which is 4. So k equals 4. Now, they are proportional because the ratio of the side lengths to the perimeter is 4 to 1. Look at what we've got. Let's write this down. Let's think about this for a minute. Perimeter is your y. So our ratio is perimeter to sides is equal to 4 over 1. This says side lengths to perimeter is 4 over 1. That's not going to work. They are proportional because the ratio of perimeter to side lengths is always 4 over 1. There it is. They are not, that's not it. That's not it. I think a lot of you chose A there. But it's perimeter y over x is the ratio. K equals y over x. A grocery store offers 4 cans of store-brand vegetables for $3 on nearby shelves. Other brands are available at prices below, which has a unit rate that is not less than the store brand. To find the unit rate, we're going to do cost per can. Cost per cans. So we've got $3 per 4 cans. So $3 per 4 cans is 75 cents. Which offer has a unit rate that is not less than. So, let's see what we got. Cost per can is going to be $1.15 for 3 cans. That's 0.38, and I need it to look like money, so I'm just going to round it off right there. Cost per can, $2 for 4. That's 50 cents. And I put that 0 there because I want it to look like money. $3.20 for 4. Is 80 cents. And $3.60 for 5. $0.72. Now, which one is not less? 38 cents is less than 75 cents. 50 cents is less. 72 is less. 80 cents is the only one that is not less. I'll give you a second. I'm gonna write one that's not erasable. I'll probably make a mistake. A candle crafter packs 180 candles in 5 boxes. So let's go ahead and write our per statement. That's candles per box. When we write that, that means that this is Y and this is X. Always. That per statement, that's going to give you your Y and your X. So, if I have 180 candles per 5 boxes, Y over X is 36. So K equals 36. This is Y over X. K equals 36. Now I take my Y equals KX, and I bring this 36 over, and I drop it right there in the place of K, and I have my equation. Now, it really is best to go back and say, okay, my candles were Y, so this is C equals 36B. So that I can make sure I'm lining C equals 36B would be that one. Which equation best represents the relationship in the table? Again, we got to have Y over X. So, negative 15 over negative 3 is a positive 5. Negative 10 over negative 2 is a positive 5. Negative 5 over negative 1 is a positive 5. 0, 0. 5 over 1 is 5. 10 over 2 is 5. So we know that K is going to equal 5. Now to write our equation, Y equals KX. We bring that 5 and we drop it right there. And there it is. All right. Daniel bought 2 pounds of mixed nuts for $7.18. Well, that's going to be cost per pound. So that's $7.18 per 2 pounds. So let's find the unit rate by dividing. Unit rate is K. K is unit rate. You can find unit rate by finding K. So we're going to use K equals Y over X, which is $7.18 over 2. We get $3.59. And we want to know which one is proportional, which means for them to be proportional, they have to be equal or the same. They have to be equal or the same. So we come right here and let's do this division. 1077 divided by 3 is 359. That looks like the answer, but let's check them all. 1083 divided by 3 is 361. 1118 divided by 4 is 2.795. We're going to say 280. And 14 20 divided by 4 is $3.55. So A is the answer. $3.59 here. $3.59 here. $3.59 here. My yellow one's not working. That was trash. Okay. What is the value of B? What value of B makes this proportion true? Okay. That's a pretty easy fix because all we're going to do here is cross multiply and solve. So we're going to start at the variable. We're just going to cross multiply down. So 21 times 16. We're going to cross multiply down. 21 times 16 is 336. 12 times B is 12B. Divide both sides by 12. 336 divided by 12 is 28. Which means that 28 would make that true. You can put a 28 right there and you would have a true proportion. The line graph below represents the total distance traveled by a train over time. Based on this graph, which of the following statements is true? The train travel, all right, so look at what it says. In 1 hour, 1 hour, 1 hour, 1 hour. Well, I can't look at 1 hour right here and really see. So we're going to use the point that we can see that is the perfect crosshair. Perfect crosshair, which is this one. So I'm going to do K equals Y over X. Let's write the ordered pair first. This is 5, 300. So Y is 300, X is 5. That gives me 60. So we traveled 60 miles in 1 hour. $60 miles in 1 hour. The graph below shows the relationship between the time in hours, sorry, and the area mowed in acres. What point means mowing 8 acres in 5 hours? Well, we got to write that as an X and a Y before we can come up with an ordered pair. So, first, let's write our per statement. That is acres per hour. Acres per hour. We did 8 acres in 5 hours. This is always Y. This is always X. We're going to take those two values and come over here and write us an ordered pair. So my Y value goes here. My X value goes here. So C would be the answer. Gladys bought 5 CDs for 5. What is the unit rate? Well, we could set up our bridge map, put our 1 right there. Or unit rate is K. K is unit rate, which is Y over X. So let's write our per statement. Cost per CD. Cost per CD. This is always Y. This is always X. Cost would be $57.50 per 5 CDs. When we write that Y over X, $57.50 over 5, is $11.50. And there you go. And we could do the cross multiplying and dividing, but when you finally understand that unit rate is K, that's all you've got to do to find unit rate. In minutes, Amari is able to type 496 words. What is his typing speed per minute? So what do we want? I'm changing colors. I get bored real quickly. We want words per minute. Words per minute. Words is 496 per 8 minutes. This is always Y. This is always X. K is Y over X. I'm going to change colors one more time and write another note that says K is unit rate. When you find K, you find the unit rate. So words per minute, 496 over 8 is 62. Miss Smith uses 600 milliliters of flour for every 150 milliliters of sugar. In order to have a proportional relationship, how much flour would Miss Davies need if she uses 450 milliliters of sugar? So we are going to set this up as a proportional. So she uses 600 milliliters. So we're doing flour and sugar to 150 milliliters of sugar. In order to have how much flour, so that's going to be my X, if she uses 450 milliliters of sugar. Got to make sure these line up. X times 150 is 150X. 600 times 450 is a really big number. 270,000. Divided by 150. You get 1,800. What ordered pair does 1, y represent on a proportional relationship? If the X value is 1, it is the unit rate. I have preached that. I hope we don't have a lot of people who missed that one. And Rebecca bought 6 pounds of ground beef for $10.80. How much would she have to pay for 18 pounds of beef if the cost was the same per pound? So, again, we're going to do our proportion. Cost $10.80 for 6. How much would I pay for 18? Cross multiply. 6x equals 10. 194.40. I'll do that again because something didn't feel right about that. $10.80 times 18. 194.40 divided by 6. X equals $32.40. And there you go. When you're having to figure out equal ratios, this is an equal ratio. That's an equal ratio. It's not asking you for the unit rate. So we're going to set up an equal ratio, set up a proportion to show equal ratios in order to determine that missing value. Okay? We will go over some of the most missed questions, but this assessment is going to be your best friend when preparing for the unit test. So go over this. Let me know if you have any questions, if you need me to work some more. If you have any further questions, if you can't see where you made a mistake, be sure to come see me. And We're just going to keep moving forward. As long as we don't get no snow. All right. Bye. I'm probably going to take this thing off to turn it off, so y'all just bear with me.